good morning and good afternoon, wherever you are in the art world, actually the other way around. And we welcome everyone from everywhere in the world. At this point, I might have to say, thanks to Katrin, who is the founder of Satellites of Art. So Katrin, we met long time, couple of months ago, and I was fascinated by this amazing project that is, community embraces all the values. Katrin, welcome. How are you?
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Carolina. It's really a pleasure being here. Having met you as well a couple of months ago, I think we have been able to really inspire each other. So, thanks for the invitation for me to be here.
Thank you, Katrin. I was fascinated by your project. Curator Natasha Muziramakenga. So thank you again for being very, very easy on my pronunciations. And then we have different artists from different parts of the world. So from Armenia, we have GAYANE AVETISSIAN. Rwanda, we have JEMIMA KAKIZI. South Africa, PHUMZILE BUTHELEZI, hello. And Nigeria, King JACOB CHIMEREMEZE. And Ghana, Richard ADUSU. Hello, everyone. So wonderful to have you here. So, Katrin, tell me what inspired you to create Satellites of Art and why this name?
Yeah, with pleasure. I must say I'm actually inspired again now when all my colleagues and our great artists who collaborate with us are here again. So these are always very inspiring moments. Now I see, all these colleagues and from everywhere in the world, actually they're connecting and are amazing artists, and we come together to actually, try to achieve a little bit similar goals we have put together. So it actually started by me being around in the world. I mean, I have been working and living in many different places. I have been working abroad for 20 years, and I saw so much amazing unseen art, and I saw so much courageous disruptive activism as well for social change. So during all these years, I spent in Africa, in Latin America, in the Middle East, in many different parts of the world. I just kept being very inspired by art that unfortunately not many people see. So and I say we, I mean, it doesn't start with me alone. I mean, we really want to make these amazing talents internationally visible. An example, when I was living in Kampala, I was almost every weekend visiting galleries and art fairs or art events, and it was always somewhere behind in a home, or it was kind of an art fair that not many people were visiting. And I thought there's so much potential and so much need actually to see this art. During these times, I was in Rwanda. The last couple of years, I met Robina, for example. She's our curator in Uganda, and Aziza, and I saw she's on the call now as well, who is advising us on partnership from the start, and she's in Ghana and working with Nigeria as well. So we were throughout patiently advised on how to shape our startup. So it's not something we started kind of sitting in Switzerland or in Germany. One of my founding partners is also in Germany. One is in Liechtenstein. It was really something that we developed together with all these amazing people I met over the last couple of years, and we said we really need to complete the art market. We need to make the art market more inclusive and fairer. Really to find answers to the questions: where are all these talented artists on the international stage? We didn't see them at the international stage. They should be there. So yeah, we created a community and a digital solution to it. So we were online from the start. We never were supposed to be a gallery as of the conventional type of having a room and hanging artworks. So we actually wanted to benefit of these two aspects, to create a global community and also using a digital tool. We did see the need for connecting and facilitating in the global art market, facilitating first and foremost for artists, but also for clients. We realized there is also need that clients who are interested in this art have a reference as a partner in us to learn more about art and their origin. When you go to our website, you see we are not talking just about artists, we are talking about their countries. I mean, who are they, their countries? And we also would like to invite people to connect with the artists and not just considering buying a piece. And last but not least, very important, we really want to make a social change. I was mentioning all these activists, these courageous activists also amongst artists. And we really wanted to work with those to make social change. I mean, we have a good example. In May this year, we were approached by the UN, the agency that is combating desertification, and we were able to do something against this terrible climate change that is going on. So we did create a mural in Abidjan, and all the heads of states had to drive by that mural when they came from the airport to the conference center. So that's just an example on how we would like to make this social change, not only for a cause, but also for artists then to be able to make a living out of what they can actually promote to us. And I would like to mention that we only exist because of our partners in the countries as well. We work with Creative Tribe in Uganda, we work with Ososo Lifestyle in Ghana and Nigeria, and with the Yerevan Biennale in Armenia. Without those, we would not exist. Now I hope I haven't spoken too much.
No, it is actually really beautiful. You know what, to hear what you do with this beautiful PowerPoint that Katerina, from our side on UK, actually London, she has organized for the Satellites of Art. She's the curator behind the scenes, let's say, but she's there with us. And I love this positive social impact. It is disruptive. I love it. And this is why, when I talked to you, I think it was really amazing to partner with such wonderful people with so much passion. And this is all about the Art Talks. So, and now
you see, Caroline, I mean, we have Katarina sitting in London. You see all the artists who are here, all these different places. Our communications, it's in Lima. So we're really like a very international team, and always sticking together. Everybody helps out where it's needed. All virtual, in fact, in a way. Some of us have never seen each other. So,
Brava, really well done. Congratulations. It is really fantastic, because it's not easy. As I can say, it's a virtual vernissage is always quite challenging. But now I would like to to have, if it's possible, Natasha, that is your, let's say, curator, then to explain a bit that is why I think it's a beautiful story behind the scenes. And I love, for Natasha, I would like to paraphrase what she wrote, that sometimes we have our eyes wide open, but we cannot see. And it's really true. We can't see what we have in front of us. And sometimes it's a choice. Sometimes it's easier because So where are you now based, Natasha?
Right now I'm in Kigali, but I do move a lot.
Okay.
I'm in Kigali until 22nd of November. So I move, I go to Abidjan, I go to Berlin, I come back. It's a little bit of how I'm living my life since we opened.
Could you tell us a bit about Make the Invisible Visible? What is your current exhibition that you're having we have organized with Katrin? And
yes.
Katrin.
Well, this idea of making the invisible visible first of all, even in the title, it's quite questionable. How do we decide that something is invisible, right? It has to be through the lens of someone else. And this is already problematic because, I mean, I exist, I know, and I'm visible, I know. But in order to be invisible, you have to be, it has to be through another person's gaze, right? As what you quote says, sometimes it's a choice. And sometimes it's just because it's not part of someone's reality, or because they choose for you not to be. And who is invisible, right? And who decides who is visible? All those are questions that I keep asking myself, and that are problematic even in the way we formulate this sentence, right? Making the visible, the invisibles visible. Because
Yes,
of all of
this
these person and a
questions
positive
that
person, and I wanted to think about how we can make art a sort of a portal through which humanity could visit each other.
Out this discover me. How can we discover you? Okay.
Yes, the QR. I think technology is beautiful in that sense that you can use it for good, you can use it for evil, but when you choose to use it for good, there's so many things you can do. And for me, that's what it is. This QR code, so simple. You can use QR codes to buy items in a shop, but in this case, the QR code becomes a portal to a different universe each time, you know, where someone somewhere can discover an artist from elsewhere and just keep being reminded of the shared humanity. And at the same time, you know, in a purely economical way, there is a way of opening a market further, you know, than the conventional way of how you put an artist on the market or art on the market. It's like another way of expanding ways of buying art, ways of empowering artists as well. So yes, the QR code, that's why I call it, it's a portal.
Yes, and I love what you wrote also here. It's a virtual journey through among different country, regions, and culture, which is it's really truly beautiful. But now, Natasha, here you have some artists. So can you tell us about one of your current exhibition that you have organized with Katrin?
The idea of this exhibition is mainly having this concept of making the invisible visible, be a sort of an open source concept for satellite of art, because we have many curators in different countries. So the idea is that it's not owned by only one curator or one person, but that it is used by all of us, and it has been used, this exhibition. I think I'll let everyone talk about the exhibition that they held.
Okay.
Making visible and
what we actually now are actively doing, I mean, we are showing now these frames, these empty frames with these QR codes in about 5 places in Zurich, very soon in Lima as well, in many other places. And the artists who are now on this call are the ones we are putting first. So whenever they I mean, we have it now in a coffee shop, and then they go and like the clients see, and they see the artists who are now on our call now, and they are also like a part, obviously they're on the platform. So it's always artists that are already with satellites of art, and then they have just now they are given priority. So when in this project, when someone is passing by, they see specifically those artists who are now on the call. In the next round, we would probably do it differently. But yeah, that's a selection then of their artworks, which we are jointly exposing also through the platform, and then the artist will best be in the best position to probably talk a little bit about other like exhibitions they have. But for this case, it's really like the priority given, and then a direct connection to our platform through those QR codes.
Yes. Okay. Wonderful. And I can't wait to ask more questions, but we will do with the Q&A a little bit later, because I would like to hear, Katrin, so one of your first artists, I will start with the alphabetical order if I can. So I have Richard ADUSU. I hope I pronounce it well, from Ghana. Ciao, Richard. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. The name is Richard. The name is Richard ADUSU. Yes, so you did well.
Wow, I did it. I made it. Fantastic.
Sure.
Okay. So Richard, you are in your atelier, and we can see some of the pictures that, of course, are also in Katrin and more. We actually see this one that are fantastic. I have to say, beautiful. So they are quite impressive, quite big.
Yes. I work in large pieces. I work on large canvas.
What inspired you, Richard?
Oh, well, my inspiration is from nature. I started doing that since I was little, like roughly 7 to 8 years old. I pick up, like naturally, that's what I can do. And I couldn't do anything else than to create. You understand? So I'm inspired by nature and things around me, things I see.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And also the freedom, the freedom to create without any pressure, also gives me the free will and the ability to create freely without any pressure,
Yes.
So that's where I took most of my inspirations from, my surroundings, things happening around me, like everyday life.
And mostly people, as you said, mostly women, yes, and men.
Yes, mostly the youth, and then the young ladies, with a little touch of old people, the up and coming. Mostly my work focuses on the young ones who are forceful in life. You understand? They are trying to make it, and then also the iconic Black figures who have made it already. In order to encourage the up and coming too. So you see my work. My figures is some of them are footballers, like sports footballers, and some are in the business world who have made it, and some are from the music backgrounds, and sort of, and also the ordinary people, like I said, the ordinary people, the youth that are being forceful, that they are determined, trying to, fighting to get to the top there. I put them up there on the canvas to encourage others and to know that after all, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Definitely. I think, it's something, it's a very important matter, what you're saying, that is touching all of us, not only it's about what is the next generation going to do, and what they should be inspired by. But sure. I would like to know, how did you meet with the satellites of art? How did you know about this? Because it's very interesting. Since
I knew about satellite of art through Mrs. Arthur Mrs. Atta, who is in Ghana. She's in Ghana here, and she contacted me and gave me the page. So I checked through, and I see it to be a great platform. So I actually fell in love with it, and we spoke about it, and then I got involved. So I really love it.
Bello, bello. I think, you know, it's again, it's through the satellites. We met with Katrin. We saw another artist that touched the heart of François René, that is the co-founder of the Art Talks, to the point that he's actually in Uganda, in Kibuka, Katrin, and we created an entire issue of the Art Talk magazine on hip hop, but from Kibuka to all the hip hop celebrities. So we will be soon released. So you will see it. So that's beautiful, really. It's incredible. Brava, Katrin. Really, that's fantastic. So, and Richard, tell me something. Would you be able to move very slowly, even though we have your beautiful 2 paintings there? Because I think yes.
Okay. Let me do that quickly. I hope you can see that.
Yes.
And I have this. It's not well stretched, but forgive me, pardon me. It's the lighting system too.
It's incredible. On you paint on canvas? No, it's not canvas. It's in both.
I have these ones. Yeah.
And the canvas must be beautiful. How you connect and you ship all the art.
Water.
Incredible, fantastic details. Katrin, as I said, I don't know if you can hear me. The shipping, it must be quite also challenging for you to create.
Yeah, that was we actually tested a lot. I'm not sure if my colleague is on the call actually who is handling that. We had tested a lot with our partners as well. Again, our partners are so important. We found the best shipping companies. And we are still not really through all the challenges, but in some cases we simply ship with DHL, but then obviously we have to make sure it's all ready on time. It arrives at the client like in one piece and they're not bothered with all these customs regulations and everything. So yeah, only the shipping is a science for itself. Once done, we have been learning a lot. And then once we have shipped something from one country, next time it's already much easier.
Yes, of course, of course. Thank you, Katrin. But thank you, Richard. I think it would be so beautiful to be there with you. As I said, I always say that the Zoom is one thing. It's just to connect the dots. But we would love to, with Katrin, maybe to do a tour of all your artists, Katrin. Maybe one day we have to do it. So
sure. That's nice.
Richard. Thank you so much. Beautiful.
You're welcome.
Really.
You're welcome.
So now I will ask if it's possible, Gayane Avetissian from Armenia. Eccola qui.
Yeah.
Gayane, how are you? So welcome to the Art Talk.
Thank you. Hi, everyone, again. So I'm Gayane Avetissian from Armenia, Yerevan.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you meet Katrin or Satellites of Art? How was your was it easy as an artist? Is it what inspired you? So we would love to know the story behind everything. We're very curious.
Okay. Honestly, I wouldn't point out anything specific. So maybe it's one of those scenarios when you can be anything else but an artist. So when I don't create or paint, I can get sick, really. So Of course, it happens when something such as the life events, something I have listened or seen, have noticed or felt triggers my creation energy. But if you sit and wait for inspiration, it may never occur. So I also look back into history of art, and of course we all stand on shoulders of giants, all great artists in future and present are, and their role models, but it's not only things I need to work. So in my own opinion, if artist needs inspiration, he or she must create it. So maybe that's all.
Thank you, Gayane. And you, where are you now? Where do you live?
Now I'm in Armenia, in Yerevan.
Fantastico, fantastico. So thank you, Gayane. Anything, Katrin? Because do you want to add anything? And then we.
Yeah, I actually would like to. I mean,
yes.
With Gayane, we are connected through the Yerevan Biennale. And we have exhibited Gayane's work at the Art Munich in May, and Gayane attracted so much attention. I mean, unfortunately, we couldn't say anything there, but Gayane, you were really the highlight of the art fair, and also, I mean, there were 83 galleries who were exhibiting, and we were the only one who had actually represented several artists, female artists from all over the world. At that time, it was the female artists, and about, I think I don't have the number now, the concrete number in mind anymore, but we were, out of possibly 5 articles, 3 newspaper articles were about us and mainly about Gayane's art. So it's really amazing how actually your art is really attracting a lot of attention, Gayane. So
thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you for invitation. Thank you for this opportunity. So
thank you to you. And as Katrin says, you have an incredible raise of exhibitions. Bravissima, really well done. Thank you, Gayane. So I will move now to PHUMZILE Buthelezi. Hello. I can't see. Hello, how are you? From South Africa.
Okay. Yes, I'm from South Africa.
So how is everything there? What inspired you to start painting, and how did you find Satellites of Art?
Satellite of Art was introduced to it by Busi from Art, because I work with them from time to time. Yeah, and why I started becoming an artist, I've always been a crafter. My work is informed by the crafts that I grew up making. So I was that child who was always embroidering or beading or crocheting or knitting, So later on in life, I actually became an artist after I was married and had 2 kids. So I was introduced through printmaking. And when that ended, I had to push on and discover what else I can do with what I have, because I always look at what I have to create work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think in South Africa, there is this big tradition in embroidering and doing the community. It's a community with some other wonderful artists that I heard. It's a very traditional.
Well, you could say that, but things have sort of changed, I mean, in my time, when I was growing up, there was a lot of that. But presently, it's not as much, especially our youngsters. They are not really into all of that, you know. It's quite a
Yes.
struggle to actually get them interested into crocheting or embroidery or anything like that. So it's almost like a dying kind of thing. But some parts of the country, you will still find that.
Yes, yes. I think, Switzerland is very good for this. Katrin can, because they do a lot of this in the normal school, schule, I would say. But in Italy, it is dying too. It's a beautiful tradition. But it's again, we see these works of art. We see one on your background, which is quite impressive too. Striking colors again, very, very strong, and very, very touching.
Yeah. Well, with these kind of works, they are more intuitive, they are more imaginative, and when I start making them, any of these kind of works, because I do several different kind of works. I sculpt, I do collages, but in different ways. Some of those collages are I use references, and on these works, like the one behind me, I don't use reference, but instead I start maybe from a point of a texture or color and explore that and play around. So they are normally spiritual because they are informed by my subconscious. So it could be anything that might have affected me in a good or a bad way recently. So then I just play around with those materials, and until something comes and I put it up on the wall, something will immediately, we have a conversation with the piece, and something will come in, or it will tell me which direction I should take. So because my work is it's partly about my life, but it's partly about everyone else, because I mean, we live in one space. We connect. We are connected one way or the other, and so now what happens is, when if I'm struggling about something and I cannot either work it out or find a solution, either someone could come with the solution or could inspire me or comfort me, whatever. Therefore, that act sometimes shows up in my work. It shows up through the piece. So, but then when I work, I switch off so that I don't direct the work, so that I don't control it. So I let the work actually happen on its own.
Beautiful. I'm trying always to find a solution, and I might start painting too, because it's sometimes, you're like, but again, it's a moment that comes as an idea, and it's incredible. Bellissimo, really beautiful. Grazie, PHUMZILE. I wish we could have more time, but I would like to give more time to our, to ask our audience some questions later. So I will jump, and I thank you very, very much. I will jump to King JACOB CHIMEREMEZE. Hello. Ecco, from Nigeria. How are you? We can hear you.
I'm doing very good. I'm very good. Thank you.
And the thing is, your smile makes us. I don't. Let me find you here. It makes all the difference. It's beautiful, and I love what you wrote. Art is the only way I can express the way I comprehend the world. It is also a medium to let out my emotions and to pass a message to everyone. Bello, welcome to the art.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
King JACOB, tell me. So you are. So how did you meet Satellites of Art? Because it's so beautiful. You are in different parts of the world, and then for me, this is fascinating what Katrin has organized.
Yeah, actually, I was told by a friend, a friend who is also an artist. She met Katrin. She met Kim Hof at the art fair in London. So the person is a London-based artist. So then they connected, and then she told me about Kim Hof. Then, that was how
What inspired you? Because we see something of some of your works here on the PowerPoint. They're very, very type of different styles, a little bit cubistic. So what inspired you to start painting?
Okay, actually, when I started out as a painter, I was very little, though, and then I had some learning difficulties. So one of those was dyslexia. So I think I started exploring, paintings and stuff. So I started exploring as some kind of a way to, learn, and develop myself the more and stuff. So I started noticing art is is a bit therapeutic, I started discovering myself, getting better and better and better. So I dived in and I kept dipping really deep in art, So from there, I started using so many mediums and, stuff like leathers, started working with, a whole lot of other mediums.
Yes, and which one did you like the best? Which can express the best what you would do?
Actually, to wander around, to be multidisciplinary, multidisciplinary kind of, pick the paintings, work with my leaders, work with some other stuff that I can find myself in, anything I just see, I just make art with it. I just feel very much comfortable with it. But I believe my paintings are, to me, it's a bit much better, but I still am open, to still dig more deeper.
Yes, yes. And I think, how, it's very nice that you are sharing with us dyslexia. And I think it's something that we have so many artists that, as you said, art is therapeutical. And it's beautiful that we can express anything through art. And, in opening and closing any boundaries. But how challenging was for you to be, in Nigeria?
You mean how challenging is what? Sorry.
Yes, how challenging was, to start painting and to get to the cultural world of your country.
Okay. Actually, it's very challenging. It's very challenging. Most families don't really, like art. They see it as, it's something that is not quite lucrative and stuff. Like my family, actually, they didn't support me. I didn't get any support from any of my family members. So I was just the one doing it as some passion. I was penalized at some point, even by my dad. So it's just because I'm kind of resilient in nature, so that was the reason why I was able to, kind of, keep doing what I'm doing, and I really never stopped. Though at some point I stopped anyway, but I still continue. One thing with being an artist is you can't really stop. You can't stop it. So no matter how hard you try to stop it, you really can't stop it. So that's just the point. Yeah, and also the people don't really appreciate art, from this point, where I am right now. It's really very much hard sometimes to connect with people that really appreciate art also. Sometimes, okay, coming to the business part of it, the business part of it is really lagging behind, you see. So that's why most of us artists right here, we really look out for, response from outside outside the shores we're in. So we look at some places like Europe, United States and stuff like that for, more appreciation of your work. Because what you do here, people don't really appreciate it, you see. So that's just the challenges we are having here.
And I love because, Katrin with Satellites of Art has become more or less a second family, which is beautiful. That I think you are truly appreciated, and it's beautiful what you do. Not even beautiful, I have to say. It's a very, very impressive. Well done, I think. Thank you. And again, it's through the curator and Katrin that has found this amazing people around the world that are bringing the invisible visible. So really beautiful. Bellissimo. So King Jacob, thank you so much for sharing all this. I think it's a reality, but not only where you are, I think also here, I think unfortunately sometimes families do not understand how important is art. And I think it's wonderful to highlight this situation. But now we are going through our last, but not least, wonderful artist with a beautiful name that I hope I will pronounce it in the English way. JEMIMA KAKIZI. Hello, JEMIMA.
Hello.
We pronouncing well?
Yes, JEMIMA. Yes, KAKIZI. Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful name. I love JEMIMA. How are you, first of all, and welcome to the Art Talks.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
And JEMIMA, you are in Rwanda. Wow.
I'm in Kigali. Yes.
So what inspired you to start painting, and why? What made you meet with Satellites of Art?
Yes. I wouldn't say there is something specifically that inspired me to become an artist. I have always been a handy person. I knew how to sew with my hands at an early age, and at some point I loved to create. So I would take some pieces left at home of the African fabric and make earrings out of it. So it's something I started really at an early age, because I would use to create different things. And then I was lucky to meet some people who went to a school of art. I used to go to their studio, loved what they do. And, that's how I actually started practicing. I would go practice with them. They'll give me free materials so that I can work on different things. That's how I found myself in the art industry. And then, I continued. So I started with the fabric, more fabrics, and then paint, then recyclable materials, because one of the focus, the things I'm working on is also waste materials to also bring awareness about environment. So that's how I found myself as doing art. So I was introduced to Satellites of Art by Muziramakenga, Natasha. And I love the platform because I could see that the founder was a woman, and the fact that a lot of women artists were represented. And myself, recently, I started curating exhibitions that focus on, women artists in visual art, because we have lack of visibility in my country. And I also realized that it's not only something that is it's worldwide. So when I see a space where there's a lot of female artists, it feels like home and welcoming for me. So I think that's one of the first thing that made me say I want to be part of this. And also the fact that we are always trying to grow as artists and getting to get inspired from other people's work, and also gets, make sure that your work can inspire or even reach not only where you are, but even outside. So satellites of art working, not in Africa only, but in different continents. So it was a very good opportunity for me to grow as an artist.
Thank you, Kakizi. And I love Jemima, first of all, your picture that we have here, but also this image, especially of this woman, I think, because as you said, yes, this is something that it's very difficult to see in another, in some other artists, the confidence of being a woman, but also it's a different body. It's not always the beautiful idealized body of women, but it's with this gilded. It's really interesting. This if I can see, these are painting, or because I don't know what material you used. Chalk, it's drawing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a paint. So
Yes.
this is like a woman kissing a child, and the child was crying. So I wanted it. I made it because I was getting ready for the 16 days of activism of gender-based violence, which is starting this month on the 25th until December 9th. So I was talking about how when you abuse a child, a mother, a child can feel it because of the bond and the connection they have together. So some children use violence at school because those are things they see at home. So I was just trying to say, giving a message about, when you hurt a mother, you hurt a child at the same time, because these kids used violence in their daily life because that's how they think maybe one should defend, themselves. These are like, they get affected in very many different ways. So it was like a call to end gender-based violence. Yeah.
Beautiful. And this is this gilded. It's a beautiful, this contrast, that you use. Again, the problematic really of nowadays beautiful with violence and on children and children, unfortunately, as you said, well said, looking at the adults, it's always the same story. It starts all at home. The violence. Thank you, Jemima.
Thank you.
And really beautiful. So I go back to Katrin. Katrin, if I can see you. And I want to say thank you also to Katerina. I don't know if she would like to come here, appear, because she's been doing a wonderful, wonderful job behind the scenes. Eccola, Katerina. Thank you. Katerina is with Katrin in London.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and this is really like this only, Katerina, we could only do this thanks to you. So it's an amazing job. So it's really Natasha's and Katerina's project, or whatever we want to call it, and it's amazing because it will be so present now in many places, and I hope we will have a lot of interesting positive feedback with this through this call, but through this art talk. Thanks a lot, Carolina. This is just such an amazing opportunity for us. And then I think, and I hope that we will have also a lot of new opportunities and feedback from all these different exhibitions now, starting now until March next year. So all about this project.
Couple of questions only, because I know everybody has been on Zoom already for 1 hour. So I know, and I can see, very interested, my super David is there. David, would you like to
Super David,
yeah. Ciao. Do I pronounce it well? David Bond.
I like to thank everyone speaking English, first of all. That, for me, as someone that speaks English, that's just amazing. But I'm wondering, how do people get involved with satellites of art? Is there a specific criteria?
Yeah, I mean, I must say how they got involved. It's really like a little bit the network we created with our partners, but who we would probably kind of accept, I must say, we have been very open. We're also not curating. Important is that the artists are really living and working in emerging economy countries. So we didn't want, I mean, we have started to a little bit work with diaspora as well. I mean, King was mentioning his friend in London, and we wouldn't have included her, but we included him. So the idea is really that that this is a support and a connector to what we say it is, so that it's people who would not, or artists who probably would otherwise not been seen. We had also, I mean, we make sure that that the art has, I mean, that it follows certain quality standards, I would say. But as you probably also know, or better know than I do, it's very difficult to define what is good art. I mean, it's globally very difficult to say so. So yeah, we didn't want to. We are not exclusive at all. What is important for us is also that artists come with shared values. I mean, we would like to support artists that have a cause they follow, which is like this activism part, or like just come with the values. What we want to make a fairer, more transparent, equal, inclusive art market, and we expect to have these values in the team. We are actually, by the way, now more than 15, mainly women who lead this, and then with all the artists, we have more than 50 artists. So yeah, that was one very special, I think, also criteria. We would like to have shared values, also related to the sustainable development goals, you know, to all this social change, and yeah.
Yeah, I see. Thank you. That's an excellent answer.
Thank you, David. Thank you again. David is in America, in a beautiful place. So he's really my, is my supporter, biggest supporter. And also we have Maria here that I think Maria is also in London. Maria, I don't know if you have 1 second to say hello. Eccolo qua. Thank you, David.
Hi, everybody. That you're running, because you bring in visible. It's like, as you said, people from so many different parts of the world that they don't have the visibility and the access to platforms. So it's like, well done, amazing. And the art is so vibrant. Some pieces were beautiful. Excellent. I really enjoyed this artwork. Thank you, everybody.
Grazie, Maria. Maria is also an amazing, she was featured in our magazine last time, like David the previous time. So they're not supported, that become friends. Not only they start with art friends, and then they become real friends. So that's the art talk community, like I think Katrin is organized. An anecdote, bellissimo, Caterina, that you can tell us while organizing this incredible virtual platform. Anything you can tell us?
Yes. Which is something that is related to the art platform we are running, but also to this project. And we were trying to find a way to go beyond borders. And so to create an opportunity to make people travel and discover other cultures, but most importantly, artists and their art pieces. And so this is all about what we are as the Satellites of Art platform, but also this project that we are aiming to bring all around the world, making sure that the art pieces of our amazing artists can be seen and appreciated worldwide. So, yes.
Grazie, Caterina. Grazie mille. Grazie for really everyone to be here. I know how challenging it was with internet connection. Don't worry, also in Switzerland, sometimes we have many problems. So thank you again for, in case you are interested with us, to know a bit different subjects of the art world. We would love to have you again. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Ciao. Goodbye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
It was an honor.
Thanks to everywhere.
To
Bye.
meet you. Ciao.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Grazie, bye, 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 bye. Ciao ragazzi, goodbye.